Hi, I'm Lori Laff. I'm Lauren's mom.
I'm Lauren doing the interview, her daughter. And since we did your birthday, I was like, oh, we have to do an interview. I've never got to actually interview you, not even for a paper or anything. So, Lori, what is your biggest accomplishment that you have done so far in your life?
Probably raised you. I had a family and I raised my daughter. And, I've taken care of my parents. They have helped me and you all through the years, and I got to see them through to their final resting day, which is a huge accomplishment. They say what goes around comes around, and I'm a big believer of that. But those two are big. Taking care of everyone.
Okay, what is the best part of being a mom?
It's having unconditional love come back to you. You know, I know that I always have you, and there's nothing like a daughter's love. I don't know, when they're born, it just is an overwhelming love. You really can't describe it. I still remember that day and the feeling of that day. It's surreal. It was Doug, you and I, we were all in this room when you were born, and there's never been a more peaceful moment than at that moment. So being a mom is great. I would never not want to have been a mom. I cherish being a mom. I cherish, even being pregnant was fun. It was easy on my body. You were out in 45 minutes. I was very lucky to have that experience as a woman. That's what our bodies are made for. And, I'll love you forever.
So the best part being the mom was unconditional love?
Yeah, that it never stops, and it comes in waves, and it goes both ways. I loved you from the moment that you came in and took care of you, and now now that you're a grown adult, you help take care of me just like I took care of my parents, and we help each other. I know I always have someone to have my back, and that means the world to me.
Okay, so my next question is, who was the first person you told when you were pregnant with me?
I went over to my parents. They were living in Overland Park in an apartment waiting for their house to be built. So they were only a few blocks away from my house. And Doug, he wasn't home. And so I had done the test at home, and I went over there and I told mom and dad, and then of course I went home and told your dad.
What were your parents' reactions?
They were happy. Doug and I had been married for almost 5 years, and we had been trying for a year to have you, so they were excited.
What is your very first memory of me?
It's got to be being born. I can still see your newborn pictures of you, that they took. Usually they say, new babies are little aliens, but you were beautiful from the moment that you arrived. You had a head of hair, gorgeous as can be, and had those little rosy cheeks and the eyes just like your father, the devilish grin in them. But that's my first memory of you in the hospital.
Do you think I have more of your good qualities or bad qualities?
Well, I imagine you have some of both. We're both pretty perfect. So what can I say? We come from Neil Foster. He was perfect also, but you have very good qualities. You and I are both kind of people persons, and stuff. We do have our little tempers, and I think we got some of the qualities of the same. But, you know, of course, your bad qualities are your father's, and your good qualities are mine.
Okay. What is one of your earliest memories?
One of my earliest memories, one that I can remember back to, is probably I was 5. We went on a trip to Colorado. Our whole family went. And usually we went to Alabama to see my grandma. But this year we went to Colorado, and I was 5 years old. And we had little kitten. And I didn't want the little kitten to run away while we were gone. So I left him on the porch with a big pan over him. And the poor little thing was under there when we got back. Not the best memory, but I thought I was doing the right thing on keeping him safe.
What is your first book you read and that had an impact, and why? Can you remember the first book you read that had an impact on you and why?
It's a book by John Steinbeck, the Field and the Mice or whatever. I remember reading that book. And I don't know, don't ask me that question. I'm not gonna answer it. I don't know.
Well, what was a book that you remember that, or it can even be that you've had an impact that you've read and you're like, oh.
None of them. I read romance novels. I read Caitlyn Jenner's book. I thought that was interesting.
Okay.
So that was probably the first biography that I read. I like that. I know you always read tons of biographies and like them. And of course, I've seen every Elvis book there was ever made because you had them.
First concert you went to?
Well, I was 15 years old. I couldn't drive. We went with Michelle and I, my best friend from high school. We went with a friend that was a boy, and he drove us. We met a whole group of people down there, and it was at Kemper Arena in Kansas City, and I seen Bob Seger, which was my favorite band, and it still is one of my very favorite, is Bob Seger. We had a blast.
You guys do any illegal substances?
We smoked a little doobie now and then down there. They were going around, but that was what went on at the concerts. But not tons, just really pretty well rocked out and had a good time. I went to many concerts in my days.